An educational trip to an exotic location is becoming more and more popular with college students around the world. Marshall University's study abroad program has seen significant growth in the last few years. Public Relations Assistant Elizabeth Lee says about 200 students are now participating in programs that span the globe. And how do they pay for it? Lee says besides the usual scholarships and private funding, Marshall University is aligned with a special program.
There's also a great program that we have here at Marshall called Reciprocal Exchange. Now, it kind of sounds complicated, kind of sounds difficult, but basically it works out that the student pays Marshall tuition and Marshall room and board, basically for a room and towers and for a full meal plan, and they get to go to school overseas for that same cost. And the only extra things they would have to pay would be like the airfare and health insurance and things like that, which we insist they have health insurance, of course. But those are the only extra costs, and you can get different scholarships to cover a lot of those things.
Senior International Relations major Ruth Herrin studied in Mexico last semester. She says it was one of the best decisions she's ever made, and she encourages other students to consider a study abroad program.
It's the only time in your life when you can go abroad and hang out with people your own age and do it for basically free. And I mean, where else will I ever get that experience?
Language barriers often prevent students from applying to global programs, but Herrin says such issues should not be a determining factor.
When I first went there, I couldn't speak a lick of Spanish. I could say like 1, 2, 3 and, my ABCs. But I studied really hard, and I lived with actually 2 other international students who were both from France, and they didn't speak any English. So we both had to help each other to learn Spanish and to communicate with each other. And I just worked really hard and studied and took classes in Spanish and felt like an idiot for 2 months, but after that, I can speak it now.
Public Relations Assistant Elizabeth Lee says students who are interested in studying abroad should start planning their trip about a year in advance. If you're interested in studying abroad, contact Lee at the Center for International Programs. For We Are Marshall Today, I'm Dr. Christopher Swindell.